What's up, everybody? My name is Kyron Chase, and today is the NXT Brooklyn 3 review. As promised, I said I would get it out after the show, or not directly after. I waited a few hours to, rewatch it, look at some other reviews, get some soak in, so let it soak in a little bit more, watch some matches again, and get an overall feel on how I thought about the show. Not saying I thought the show was bad to begin with. I thought it was a pretty good show. Probably the best Takeover Brooklyn yet, but you always want to let it soak in just a little bit. I would never review something literally right after seeing it. Um, I don't want this video to be as long as the Takeover Brooklyn 2 review. Maybe even shorter than the Brooklyn 1 review because I just I want to. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning where I am, and I just want to get this review over with. Not saying I'm just gonna like BS through it, but I'm just gonna try to get down to everything. Night started off with a band called Code Orange performing. I know nothing of their work, so I can't really say anything. The song was okay, nothing special. First match of the night was Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. um, Johnny got a huge pop coming out, and I thought this was actually a really good match. This is the best Andrade's looked since he's been in WWE, and he's been there for NXT for over about a year now, and this is I think the best he's looked. Um, Now, my one problem I had with this match is there was a lack of selling in it, but it had a lot of counters, great near falls, and a really good pace that the fans from Brooklyn kept the fans in Brooklyn on their feet, guessing which superstar would win. Um, Now the ending of this match, Johnny went for the hit the super kick, but Andrade's manager Zelina threw a DIY shirt into the ring and distracted Johnny. Um, Long enough for Andrade to hit the hammer like DDT for the win. A lot of fans won't be happy about Johnny losing, but you can tell NXT has plans for Andrade, and Johnny won't be damaged by this loss because he's one of the most loved people in NXT at the moment, if not the most loved person in NXT. Um, I like the psychological interference by Zelina Vega. Um, as Johnny, using a DIY shirt, as Johnny, distanced himself from it. It was really good storytelling of is Johnny truly over, hitting him and Ciampa splitting up the way that happened. That's an intriguing storyline. I honestly just can't wait for Ciampa to get back so we can get the Ciampa versus Gargano feud that a lot of people want to see, including myself. Um, like I said, this is a really good match, like fast paced. I give this match a B+. Next up was the Austin Payne versus Sanity, and I was looking forward to this match. It started off with a brawl right at the gate of Austin Payne just attacking Sanity. It was this match was physical. I really thought the two men in this match would be Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. But just when Wolf was about to tag in Dane, Eric Young stepped up and he replaced him mid-match. And of course that was fine because Killian Dane never tagged in. I was kind of disappointed because I'm a fan of Killian Dane, especially because of his work in WCPW as Big Damo. But Eric Young's a really good wrestler as well. Young got isolated from Wolf and he was beaten down, so I guess he had to play the babyface in peril, even though both teams are heels. But Sandy did get the bigger babyface reaction, I guess you could say. Um, Hot tag to Wolf, and he brought it back. Came back out of the gate with a really impressive German suplex. Um, there was a part in the match where one of the Austin Payne, I'm sorry, I don't know which one is Aikman and which one is Razor. I apologize. Went for a superplex on Eric Young, and his partner was going to try to powerbomb his partner to get the highest superplex, but Nikki Cross held Eric Young's legs, and I think it was Razor powerbombed Aikman. It could be another way, but I don't know. This is the reason I like this match. It shows why I love Sanity. They used their number games to advantage, and they said the best way to win chaos, and chaos reigned. The spot of the match, though, everyone started diving. Young hit a suicide dive. Wolf hit an impressive twisting plancha over the top rope. Aikman and Razor. Nikki and Paul Ellering got into the ring, and Ellering distracted the ref. Nikki went for a cross body on Aikman, and Aikman caught her. Dane speared both of them through a table that Eric Young set up at the beginning of the match, before anyone locked up, like before the bell rung. And I'm glad he didn't use the table at the beginning. They waited, and my God, Nikki getting squashed between those two giant guys. Props to you, Nikki, for taking that. Since the Women's Revolution, this has got to be the most hardcore female bump I've seen. Even like worse than Sasha getting power bomb off the side of the cell. That was sick because look how big Dane. I'm sorry, Killian Dane and A, Akam is. They are. Look how big they are. Look how small Nikki is. And then they sandwich her and go through the table. That was a sick bump. Um, uh, but Young and Wolf hit a combination net breaker to win the tag team titles. After the match, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish came attacked both teams and add to the match. And I don't know anything about Ring of Honor, so I'm sorry I don't know about any of these guys. But this is a really fun wrestling match, and it had a lot of crowd pleasing spots. And that table spot was my favorite. It was interesting that Riley and Fish attacked both Sandy and Arthur Payne. So it didn't make them as either baby faces or heels. They just want the titles. This could make some really good television going on, especially what happens at the end of the night. I'll give this match a B+ as well. This was a really good match. Next up was Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. Aleister Black entered the Barclays Center and his theme song was performed live. The match started off with strikes right at the bat, and that's what I knew this match was going to be about. This is going to be strike, a lot of strikes, hard hitting. They both unloaded, like I said, a lot of strikes. Black, I don't know when, but he busted. I don't know if he broke it or just busted his nose and blood was spewing like all over his face down here. Which really helped intensify the match, if you ask me. They rewatched the strikes in this match were very, very stiff. This was honestly probably my least favorite match of the night. Not saying it was a bad match, just with a whole night of good matches, something that has to be last. And unfortunately, this was probably last for me. It wasn't a bad match. It was really good. Aleister Black won by hitting Itami with a black mask and ended up winning the match. The strikes were stiff. It was a physical match, grueling. But we all expected Aleister Black to win. I can see Black really making it big in NXT, but as usual, how the main roster doing. What's next for Hideo Itami? You can tell he's really been one of the most, disappointing wrestlers in NXT. Not mainly his fault, but with injuries, he missed the year of NXT. Where's he going from here? Once again, this was no bad match by any means, but something has to be last, and unfortunately, it's this. I'll give the match a B. Next up was Asuka vs. Ember Moon for NXT Women's Championship. My God, the storytelling and emotion for this match. It starts off. This was easily the most anticipated match on the card, and the match I was looking forward to the most. This started off with Ember coming trying to get with a drop kick. She went at Asuka early on, hit her flip up the ropes on her to outside. Asuka then got control of the match by sending her shoulder into the steel steps, and then she hit a slam on the grate on her shoulder, her previously injured left shoulder. After that, Asuka worked on her shoulder for a bit. Where was I? She applies some arm bars. The crowd broke into a lot of alternate chants. Let's go Asuka, let's go Ember. I was rooting for Ember to win. And Ember hit an enziguri for a 2 count, but Asuka came back with a German suplex into the turnbuckles. Into the turnbuckle. Asuka nearly got the Asuka lock on, but Ember fought her off and put her in her own version of the Asuka lock of crossface chicken wing. But Asuka attacked Ember's injured arm, and Ember countered with a nearly scored a pinfall and delivered a really good Larry clothesline when Asuka was on her knees and Ember barely got off the mat. Asuka hit a hip attack on Ember, and then Ember out of nowhere, after Ember delivered a sit down side slam after Asuka hit her with a few kicks. Then Ember did hit the Eclipse out of nowhere, but Asuka kicked out. And let me just say, the look on Ember's face when Asuka kicked out the Eclipse was perfect. As in, I hit her my best shot and she still kicked out. You could really see the pain in her eyes. Like, what more can I do? After that, she went for the Eclipse again, but Asuka had held the referee, sort of like what happened in Takeover Orlando. Ember hit a crossbody, but Asuka reversed and held her tights. but the referee caught her. Ember then hit a seriously vicious super kick, which I thought it was over right there. But Asuka kicked out again, and Ember just broke down. Literally looked like she was gonna start crying. And once again, good storytelling. Uh, but Asuka then played possum and got sucked Ember in for the Asuka lock for the tap out victory. I will admit, this did make me a little emotional because I really was pulling for Ember to take it. I thought she was going to win. Her family was there after what happened in Orlando, a whole year after her debut, but it just wasn't meant to be. I wasn't mad at anything because, let's be honest, Asuka is great, and Ember's great too. And even in defeat, you could argue this loss, losing this match, did better for Ember than it did for Asuka. Losing this match did better for Ember than a win would have done. It seems like she's the biggest star because after the match, Asuka left, walked out of the ring. Ember, the crowd gave her a standing ovation. She soaked in the audience. But now, like, she's finally, it doesn't seem like she's chosen anymore, but respected by the audience. Not saying she wasn't respected, but you can tell she really won a lot of the audience over tonight. The question is, like, what happens now? Does she turn heel after the breakdown? I really hope not, because I'd rather her win as a babyface. But this story is Asuka's just too great. Like, there's never been any female performer on her level in WWE history. And she's definitely the best women's wrestler on the main roster. It's a shame she didn't lose here and this was her swan song, because I don't think, even though Ember got that huge ovation, this is her last NXT match, because I think Asuka's more ready than anyone to go to the main roster. But how do they handle her? They can't just have her lose like that. Yeah, this match, I just loved. This was honestly my favorite match tonight. It had good in-ring action. Told the best story tonight, and the emotion, especially by Ember. She went after Asuka, when Asuka kicked out of the Eclipse. She the look on her face, asking the like telling the ref, how was that not 3? After that, she climbed to the top. She literally, you can look if you had lips. She told Asuka, "I hate you." She went up to the top rope again, and the breakdown when Asuka kicked out super kick was just. It wasn't like Alexa Bliss's breakdown, so it just looked childish and petty. You really felt Ember's pain of not winning, because you really thought she had it. I'm gonna give this match. Really, I'm really gonna have to give it an A. I was really gonna give it an A-, but it was that the story they told was enough to bump it up to an A. Final match of the night: the glorious Bobby Roode defends the NXT Championship against Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew came out to some bagpipes. People playing bagpipes is pretty good. Bobby came out, another good entrance. But the problem with Bobby's entrance is, this was literally the exact same entrance he had at Takeover Chicago. Not a bad entrance, but maybe they're running out of ideas. Maybe they just didn't come up with something new. But last year, I liked all of his entrances up to now. Last year, Takeover Brooklyn, the one in Toronto with the choir, and Takeover the San Antonio with all the women with them. Takeover Orlando with the pianos. Takeover Chicago with the piano and the LED at the top. But now the exact same entrance. But this match started off slow, and think about it, that's actually a good thing, because up to this point, the 3 matches before this, all 3 of them had started off fast paced. Tag team time match started with a brawl. Aleister Black and Hideo did not start off with a They didn't start with Kyle and Neville tie-up. They started off trying to strike each other. And Ember, Moon, and Asuka started off with a drop kick. Ember drop kicking Asuka. This match was pretty slow at the beginning, but the second half really picked up. This match felt like an old school wrestling match. There wasn't a lot. There was one main flip, and that was toward the end of the match. And that's how I think flips should be done in wrestling. I'm fine with them, but not 5 flips in one match. 1 or 2, and really near the end. You really believe? I actually thought at one point Drew was gonna lose this match. He had hit this future shot DDT, but Bobby kicked out. He hit the Claymore kick for the but for another 2. I thought, okay, he kicked out of both his finishes. He's probably not gonna win. But that's when Drew delivered the top rope. He jumped over the top rope on which wiped them both out, and Drew landed pretty funny on his back. My cousin pointed out Bobby didn't catch him good enough. When they got back into the ring, Bobby delivered a glorious DDT that Drew kicked out of. Then he delivered another glorious DDT, went for a third, but Drew hit him with a headbutt and then delivered a second Claymore kick for the 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre is the new NXT champion. Uh, I do like how the story paid off, and McIntyre's journey from back to the top of the industry, his redemption story, and it paid off pretty well. But let's just talk about what happened after the match, because that's what everyone's gonna be talking about. After the match, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish appeared again, and you can hear the crowd going wild for some reason. I think I knew exactly what it was. Adam Cole came out and attacked Drew McIntyre from behind. Uh, I guess they're going through this Ring of Honor invasion storyline I've heard about. I've heard rumors about. Me personally, though, I don't know much about Adam Cole. I know, I don't know. I'm gonna watch some of his highlights from Ring of Honor just to see what's going, know a little bit about him. But I want to see what's moving on, because with this NXT, Ring of Honor invasion. Well, will Bobby Roode go to the main roster? Hopefully he does, because there's nothing else for him to do in NXT unless he does this feud with Roderick Strong, which he could join the Ring of Honor crew with Riley, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, since he was on Ring of Honor too. He feuds with Bobby. Fish and Riley go against at the tag team titles, and Adam Cole goes after the NXT championship. I don't know, but overall, this is a really good match. Like I said, it was slow at the beginning, but it had to be because the first three started off fast paced. I'll give this match a B+ as well. So what's my final score for the show? With the Gargano versus Cien Almas had a B+. Tag team title match B+. Tommy versus Black B. Oscar versus Ember Moon A. And Bobby Roode and Drew McIntyre gave a B+. I'm leaning on fence between B+ and A-. On one hand, not a single match was a C, which automatically puts it above both Takeover Brooklyn 1 and 2, because I gave at least one match on both cards a C. But on the other hand, other than Moon and Oscar, nothing. Other than Oscar and Ember Moon, nothing else got to an A, which is saying something, because I think I gave at least two matches an A or A- in both reviews. But I am gonna give this show an A-. I feel like nothing about the show was bad. Everything was good about it, and let me just say this now. This show was 2 hours long and had 5 matches. SummerSlam tomorrow night, counting the pre-show, will be 6 hours with 13 matches. Guarantee you SummerSlam won't top this. I mean, I'm not rooting against SummerSlam. I just don't think it's gonna happen. But anyway, once NXT, you've done it again. Gave us one of the top shows of the year, and I just want to see what SummerSlam's gonna do. But until my SummerSlam review tomorrow night, my name is Kyron Chase. I'll see you guys later.